We hear about the possible alien presence in our world quite often. There are numerous theories, speculations, and considerations on this subject. Many people have written books on the topic, and even more people talk about it on YouTube channels. Today, I would like to share with you the point of view of an author who claims that humans could have been deliberately created by extraterrestrials. I'm talking about an author called Voron, who wrote a book called Unidentified Flying Objects, Starcraft. I want to draw your attention to his reasoning, which actually doesn't depend on the fact whether there are aliens or not. Let's get started. Indeed, how to answer this question: were we or were not? I believe the following answer may be true. Scientists cannot find the missing link, i.e., the form that was an immediate ancestor of the original Homo sapiens, referred to as the Cro-Magnon man. While they found and continue finding remains of many less advanced forms that existed much time before. In the meantime, the remains of this form should be met often enough. Just like those of Neanderthal, moreover, this form, which was not Homo sapiens' ancestor, existed approximately at the same time. Else, how could this form engender the Cro-Magnons? If scientists cannot find such a form, this may mean for 99.9 that this form never existed, and that the original Homo sapiens was genetically engineered. By whom? I believe the answer is evident. By certain intelligent beings of extraterrestrial origin. If we assume these intelligent beings were of terrestrial origin, i.e., were non-human intelligent species who lived on the Earth, and who reached such a level of development that could engineer the Homo sapiens, then the situation will be yet more complex than with the missing link, since no remains of any other intelligent beings for those times were found. And if we assume they buried their dead so that no remains would have been found, then how could they do that at the level they reached before, i.e., when they were not as advanced as when they buried their dead in the described way? Could they have found and buried, burnt, all of their dead? Remark that they should be many enough. Else how could they create such a developed civilization that was supposedly able to biologically engineer such species like Homo sapiens? Unless we assume that intelligent octopuses or dolphins, sea inhabitants, could have created a civilization and engineered an intelligent primate. Many scientists think that the creation issue is simply this: our existence, the universe, and everything we observe was a product of either A, creation, an intelligent design, or B, chance or random occurrence, an evolution. I don't think that, with the level of science reached nowadays, scientists can duly discuss and solve the problem of creation of the entire universe, galaxies, stars, planets, satellites, etc. But perhaps the problem of emergence of life and intelligent life can be discussed in the following way. Calculations show that the chance for emergence of life and, moreover, intelligent life is very low. It is more likely that a hurricane could compose a new Boeing aircraft from the fragments of a broken one lying on the ground. But the universe is giant, endless. So this chance did take place, and the life, and then the intelligent life, emerged. The civilization that was created by this intelligent life, we can call this civilization God, began creating life, intelligent life, in other star systems. Besides what we call aliens' bases in star systems or giant motherships, and maybe it was not only the life and bases that this civilization created, but also some star systems, planets, their satellites, quasars, and. The issue here is that the universe is not only endless, but also eternal, and this means that the process similar to the one described above may have taken place many, innumerable, times in its different, innumerable parts. In this case, gods could be civilizations, intelligent, superdeveloped beings who had the goal to create life and intelligent life. Civilizations similar to the one that possibly created us, the gods of the civilizations that might have been created after us, could have done the same thing. Of course, this is just speculation. However, if we proceed from the idea that we were created, This may be one of the variants that could explain why we exist. In addition to the considerations above, Voron raises the following question. If the hypothesis of evolution is correct, why was it precisely on our planet that life and intelligent life emerged? Does this mean that the conditions on Earth are unique in the entire universe? Scientists say that the conditions on Earth are indeed unique. Moreover, there are opinions that life and intelligent life could not emerge on any other planet except Earth. This is due to the fact that the conditions that were necessary for all stages of evolution of life on Earth could not be created on any other planet. However, it is unclear whether this opinion is based on calculations and arguments, or whether it is a conclusion that scientists came to because they do not know of the existence of any life outside our planet. Maybe they cannot prove the existence of life on other planets because it actually exists and develops according to the laws that we do not know yet because we are still not developed enough to understand them. Now let's get back to the assumption that we were created. We usually imagine creators as highly developed extraterrestrials or God. What if we are the creators? Let me explain. Modern history of humankind began approximately 12,000 years ago. At that time, people engaged in breeding domestic animals and plants and began to cultivate land. It was during that period that people started forming settlements and later cities. All that took several thousand years. As you can see, this is just a tiny period in geological history of our planet. People appeared around 300,000 years ago. The first settlements were formed 12,000 years ago. That makes only 10 times difference. From the point of view of evolution, it is like a snap finger. The first primitive tools made of stone appeared approximately 2.6 million years ago. That is 10 times more ancient than the first settlements. As you can see, it is already a very, very long period. What if it was precisely people who were the creators? Maybe 2.6 million years ago, there existed a highly developed civilization that knew how to use the energy of the planet and influence genetic makeup of living organisms. Perhaps the civilization purposefully created people in order to cultivate and develop the planet, mine useful minerals, develop technologies, and then leave the planet once the goals were achieved. After all, modern history of humankind began 12,000 years ago when people started farming and cattle breeding. Then the first cities were built and trade relations were established between them. Later, empires and states arose. About 6,000 years ago, the first written monuments appeared, and then the first high cultures. This was followed by the heyday of civilizations, their clashes, wars, discoveries, inventions. The period of mankind's existence that we consider modern is barely 2,000 or 3,000 years long. It's just a negligible instant compared to the history of the planet. The first space flights were made only 60 years ago. Man landed on the moon just 54 years ago. And we are now talking about colonizing Mars. We are just at the dawn of development. Only recently we learned how to extract oil and use it as fuel. Just recently, we learned to generate electricity and use it for lighting and running various mechanisms. It seems that all this happened just yesterday. And what if everything that exists on our planet and beyond is only a tiny part of what has already been created? After all, we do not know what lies behind the great filter, the edge of the observable universe, and what kind of civilizations are there. We do not know what is the nature of dark matter and dark energy and what role they play in the structure of the universe. We do not know how exactly the universe began, whether it has a beginning or always existed. We don't know if it is infinite or has a finite size. We do not know if time has always passed the same way and whether it flows in the same way in the entire universe. We don't know if the laws of physics are the same everywhere and at all times. We don't know if there are parallel universes and if there are many such universes, whether there is life there, and if there is, whether it is intelligent. We do not know what role human brain plays in the structure of the universe and what civilizations have already come and gone. And here we come to the main. Are we really capable of understanding the laws of the universe and our place in it? For now, we can only speculate about it. So maybe we shouldn't presume too much and admit that we simply do not know enough to give an answer to the question whether we were created or not. Maybe everything Voron says isn't true. Maybe we really are the creators. Or maybe we are the creation of some other civilizations. And maybe we are not alone in this universe. Thank you for watching this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and see you soon. Bye.